Hey, what's up guys, Frozen here, and today we are back with the final episode of the Mira series, until at least we get a new map that comes out that's any good, unlike Tower. We are on Theme Park, and we are in the drug room. Now, first of all, we have this mirror right here. Now, this just helps you hold bathroom and drug. Very simple, self-explanatory. Put it down crouched. You can put it far right, far left, in the center. It doesn't really matter. As long as you make a hole over top so you can throw C4s through. That's basically all you need. Some people like to put a mirror window right here, but I don't really find it very useful because you can't see the window, nor can you see if anybody jumps in. So generally, it's just better to have a rotation hole right here, and that'll just make your life easier so you can, well, rotate. Especially if you have to, if they get a plant down in here somehow, like maybe they get behind this and you miss your C4, they can, or at least you can run over here, or you can run through this door, or maybe even jump over this window and go through the bathroom instead of basically being funneled through this door. Moving on to over here, this is not necessarily a spot I would say do it all the time because it's really good. That one I would say if you're playing Mirror on this site, I would use that. But for this, it's good, it works. But at the same time, these stairs make it a big problem because if you don't hold up these stairs, then you lose this mirror window because they can see you, like no matter where you are if you're on this mirror window. As you can see, I don't see the bullets because this map is too fucking dark. But you have this window, and so as long as you're fine from the stairs, this can hold off anyone that pushes through barrels, which is pretty common. Especially because nobody ever really defends it. But now we're moving on to upstairs, which will be bunk and daycare. Okay, so now that we are upstairs, we have this window right here. Now, some people also put this on this wall, and honestly, they're basically exactly the same, so you can do either one. Same concept. Some people even do both. And generally, if you're gonna play Mirror here, you might as well do both. It's definitely not a bad idea to do both, but one reason why people are reluctant to do this is because of these windows. But you'd be surprised at how few people actually rappel on these windows, and that is because it's very easy to get run out on from here, because you have main door, this window, there's a barrels window down there, and there's a door over in train that if you're at 3-speed, you won't even be detected before you can see people on these windows. But in general, most people don't even rappel on these, so it's not that big of a deal. For this one, on this side, it's less safe, so if you're going to only do one, I'd recommend this one. Just because, well, there's only one window as opposed to two, so you can castle that window potentially, and then you're safer. Next, we have this window right here. Now, the reason that everything else is shut open because if you play with these two windows, and you have both of them there, it's not a terrible idea to do it for one round only, one round a game, because if you do it again, then they're going to expect it probably. And you can open this entire wall and at head height like the mirror window is, and you can just see, basically everything. Don't necessarily have to do it, it's just a pocket strat that sometimes catches people off guard, and when people are caught off guard, they do this stupid shit. But, as well as another thing you can do, is if you want to use this window, if you reinforce this, you can still have this window here, and you can play it. And if it gets popped, you can fall back to this one. Another spot that some people like, but generally, like some people like to put a window on this, but personally, I just like to use this mirror window and open a hole so you can see, because some people use it as a way you can peek this window, which is viable. Yes, it works. You just reinforce this wall, put it here, and it can work pretty well. It depends. It just depends on what you're doing. The one thing I would say is don't put it on this side, because if you do, they can shoot a firebolt if they have a Capitao, or just hold an angle on you, and you'll be stuck in this corner, like if they have a Blackbeard or something. But this window can help you defend from people coming up the stairs and jumping in this window, as well as getting rotation from inside cafe. But that is it for this site. Now we're moving on over to the initiation room in just a second. Okay, so now we are in the initiation in office. First off, we have this window right here, and once again, it's another one of those cases where a lot of people don't even repel, but I would also recommend just bringing a castle. This castle is great, especially it just makes you feel a little safe. But you can castle this off, and you're good. Reinforce these two walls, and reinforce these two walls, and you have a complete coverage over B, which is nice. One thing you do want to keep in mind is that sometimes you don't even have to repel. So if it's not castled off, then they can just stand right here and shoot the mirror and you. So be careful of that. Because of that, you can put it in this side instead, but this side just gives you a little bit more unpredictability of which side you're gonna peek. So it's just trading. I do recommend castling that though, even though how prevalent Ash is, but still, castle it works quite well. For this site, you don't necessarily need a Mira. For this site, I personally like running Frost. I'll put like Frost traps under that window, because even if they know it's there, if they don't have a nade, they can't do anything about it. And other ops like Jaeger Smoke, all the normal ops. Just Mira is not the best on this site, but we have this window right here. Now this one lets you keep an eye on the other site. And this spot's good because you're protected from this window completely, but similar to another window that you can get just pinched, so just be careful of getting pinched, which is why you can open a rotation hole here. And if you're safe on this side, you can prone out and they can't even see you go past, so that's quite helpful. This wall can be opened, obviously, but it can be useful to open it. Generally speaking, you're not gonna get a lot of use out of it, but sometimes it can work. Just do be aware of, you do want to make sure your rotation hole is above, because there's literally no reason to have your mirror window shooting through a soft wall if your body is exposed, so just be aware of that. But this window is not necessarily a necessity either, but it does work quite well. A lot of people do like to push this window. And the same thing for this window over here, you don't have to play it. But generally speaking, mirror windows on this site are not the best just because of the exposure to angles that are basically going to be just free to the attackers. But that is it for up here. Now I'm moving on to the last site, which is going to be right downstairs in Gargoyle. Okay, so this site is overall not very good, first of all, so if you have the option, don't pick it, just because you're pretty much losing a round for no reason. Another thing is also this angle, pretty good. You're pretty much protected from your body, a little bit your legs sticking out, but that's not important, that's not what we're here for. So, we have this window right here. Now, this is a very, very situational window, just like the site as a whole. And the reason why this site is not very good is because of this corner. Because you have to put yourself at a very exposed spot to actually be able to deny someone planting in this corner. Especially because it's very easy for the attackers to just kind of mosey on through this door or through bathroom and have this part of the map where they can just plant. As well as the fact that, well, you run very short on reinforcements on this site, because I believe there is 4 on this wall. Maybe 3. There's 3 on this wall. There's another 4 here, and there's 2 here. And if you want some other spots, you run short on walls, especially because there's a hatch that some people like to get over here. Some people like to reinforce this. It's just, you don't really have a flexible amount of walls, I guess, to put mirror windows on. The reinforcing this is also important, so if that's another 3 walls, then it's just like, you need more. So, this window, good for stopping everything but that. If you have a smoke, however, your smoke can throw gas canisters from back here, and that is probably the best way to deny a plant in that corner. Because if you're over anywhere from over here, because you're gonna get somebody sitting in, like, back in lockers, like right here, holding the door. And getting a plant down in here is rather easy. So if you have a smoke right here, you're not really exposing yourself, and you can just put an arrow down. You can get C4s close, but if they plant in this corner, it's not gonna kill them, so just do be aware of that, and usually that's where they'll plant in this corner. And back to this other window, very situational. All this really does is cuts off another angle, because if you have someone in here, generally you're gonna place someone in here anyway, so having a mirror window just to cut off this door makes it, you have less to worry about. You can hold it right here. Much easier, because you don't have to worry about this angle. You only have to worry about this one, which will usually be double barricaded and like wired, so that's rather useful. But yeah, that is it for this video and this series. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hopefully the next maps that we get in the future will be good, and I'll actually find it worthwhile to make mirror window videos on them. Theme park is like, but I'm not doing one on tower, because one, you don't really need a mirror on tower, and two, I hate tower. Like, tower is just bad. But that is it, and I will see you all in the next video, whatever series or video that I decide to make. Peace.